Hi vinyl community, John here again. This is my fourth video where I kind of cruise through my heavy metal and hard rock LPs. We're up to F now. Before I go on, I'll say that we're listening to this spinning. This is Dr. Mastermind. I showed this in my last video. Had some current correspondence with metal theologian about the sort of the way that the British heavy metal bands kind of seem to be a little bit more comedic than the American ones. This one, I guess, kind of contradicts that a little bit because, well, it's not necessarily a comedy record. It's kind of absurd. And I get the feeling that some of the stuff on here is acknowledging the absurdity of, I don't know, the extreme, I guess, of the music. This track's called Man of the Year, where he sings about nominate the candidate, elect me for Man of the Year. I don't know. I would rather have him than Donald Trump. I don't know. Probably about the same. Okay, so start off with F, Faster Pussycat. It's come out in '92. Kind of one of those bands that was sort of grouped together with Guns N' Roses when they were sort of hot on the scene. It's the only one of those that I had. Lita Ford. Less said about that, the better probably. She from the Runaways, wasn't she? She did some stuff with Ozzy Osbourne. This is from '88. Not a particularly great record. Girl School. It's their first album. It's on Braum. You know, in regards to Girl School, I always felt that they could have done with a little bit of better direction. I know Motorhead and Lemmy gave them a good crack, but I don't know, the vocalist in Girl School was always, in my opinion, quite poor. Someone's written their name on that. And it's also in Braum. I think they could have had more success really if they were, like I said, with better direction. It's the last one of theirs that I have, Screaming Blue Murder. That's got a fun little label. The next band is actually called Girl. And I think they're mostly known basically for being the band where Phil Collins came from before he joined Def Leppard. Not really my favourite thing. It's quite commercial. Let's see. It's on Jet Records. And so on to Gillen. Look at that pipe sticker, £3. Limited edition at £3. Yeah, what can I say about Ian Gillan? I mean, yeah, as a solo artist, I think, to be honest with you, it's on Acrobat. To be honest with you, I really am not a fan of his solo work. I think, and this came out what, '79. I just feel it's so poorly produced. You know, I get what they're trying to achieve. I get what they're trying to do. It's like they're kind of, the sound of the music is sort of like compressed more towards the middle of the stereo mix. And I think really what he's trying to achieve is this sort of driving force, like a Motorhead kind of sort of driving force, full at you, full on. But it might as well be in mono in that case, because it just feels like, well, they're not taking advantage of the channels, and I don't know, it may have worked for people in '79, it doesn't work for me. I struggle with this record, I really do, because I just feel that it's poorly put together. And I think that's kind of true of all his music, outside of Deep Purple. So this is Ian Gillen, Double Trouble. It's got one live album, one studio album. Again, it's a similar kind of effect here. I mean, this one's better produced than the other one I just showed, but only marginally. Got Yannick Gears there from Iron Maiden, although before Iron Maiden, obviously. And then it's got a load of Great White records. I need to show those so much. Great White. This one's quite a fun one because it's a covers album. It's got Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin, Red House, Jimi Hendrix, and various other stuff. Great White, got loads of their records with 10 a penny in the day. G, lost my order now. So this is Goat, kind of a sort of, what do you call this, sort of grimy, sort of sleaze, kind of rock, heavy rock. On Beggar's Banquet. Medication Time it's called. Right. Grand Prix, or Grand Prix, I don't know how you pronounce that. Grand Prix looks good to me. Very commercial record. These, there you go, that's a label. Grand Prix Samurai. This is where that guy Macaulay come from. What was his name? Robin Macaulay, who eventually went on to work with Michael Schenker. He's also on this record as well. To be honest with you, I think he's kind of overrated. Far Corporation. Case of style over substance, I think, with him, and most of the stuff that he does, to be honest with you. Okay, this is a fun one. Great Cat. On your knees and bow to the great cats. Worship me or die, it says. She was kind of a real sort of crazy guitarist type individual back in the day on Roadrunner. Completely over the top, I guess as well. You could probably say that there's an element of humour in there. I don't know where she's from. I think she's American, but I could be wrong. I'll find out and put here. And then it's got Guns N' Roses at the end. Appetite for Destruction. Got a couple of copies of that. Well, that's probably the nicer one. They banned that cover eventually, didn't they? Some Geffen, hardly rare. Use Your Illusion. 1, 2. I remember the day I bought these. Went to Our Price Records in my hometown. I don't know how hard it was at the time, but they were kind of hot news. Bought them, and quite an investment, but quite enjoyed them actually. And glad that I've got them now. And the last record I'm going to show in this batch is completely sealed and unopened. Chinese Democracy by Guns N' Roses. I picked this up for $7. Still sealed. $7 in the States, in California. in Sacramento. Why hadn't I opened it? Well, I don't know. Just never really had the chance, time. Sort of thing I sort of save for a special occasion, perhaps. Although I guess the longer I keep it, the more valuable it becomes, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll open it one day. Okay, so that's the last record on that batch. Thanks very much for watching. Look out for my next video. Bye.